How's it going, guys? Rhino here, and we're here to talk about bias on college campuses, as well as sort of an attempt to silence those in a clever way. And I'll explain this in a second. So essentially, I've received 2 emails recently for my school email. One from my university itself, from basically the board itself. The second one is from what's called ASUO, which is a student-run organization. It's kind of like when you run for president or class president of your high school. It's similar to that in the fact that I'm pretty sure it's elected individuals in these positions, but they're students and they try to be for the students and help out the students in any way possible. Like, for example, recently there was an attempt due to budget cuts. Our university was trying to raise the tuition for the year, and ASUO came in and tried to stop it. What ended up stopping it was something else, and that's a story for another day. But essentially, that's what ASUO is. So you got to keep in mind that one of these is from the university itself, and then the other one is from ASUO. And I'll say which one is which, but I'm going to be reading these emails. It will be a little bit of reading, and I apologize, but I feel like I feel like this needs to be read. So this is what it says. Dear Ryan. So it's just this is an email that was sent out to every single student on campus. This week we will have a controversial group visiting campus. They bring movable visual displays to campuses nationwide that contain graphic images associated with an anti-abortion viewpoint. The images can be shocking. The university encourages those who may be offended by such images to avoid the EMU Green as much as possible between 9 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday and Thursday, which is a certain area kind of in the center of campus. The University of Oregon strongly values free speech and academic freedom, and this is the case where the content, though likely offensive to many, is protected under the First Amendment. It's a state school. The UO in no way condones or supports the tactics of this group, but the university is a public entity and cannot restrict expression on the basis of its viewpoint. The group has filed the appropriate paperwork and met the requisite requirements to have their displays on our campus. I don't know what those are. As a reminder, the United States and Oregon constitutions protect speech, not non-expressive conduct. Nonviolent speech and protests are appropriate ways to air views on a wide variety of topics. The UO Student Conduct Code prohibits actions that endanger, threaten, or harm the health and safety of another person or interfere with the rights of others. Students who violated the code will be referred to the Office of Student Conduct and Community Standards. Any conduct by this outside group that violates university policy relating to prohibited harassment will be addressed with the organizers. It is important to acknowledge that some speech, even if legal, has the potential to cause anxiety, offend our beliefs, or insult our values. While the university cannot restrict these rights, we can offer resources and support services to our UO community, respond with any unease and distress that the free and open exchange of ideas can bring. And then it gives a list of certain areas, these extra things that the UO is hosting, my college is hosting, to assist with this. And this one doesn't have any laughable ones. It's just kind of saying it's just like impacted faculty and staff are encouraged to utilize counseling services, just kind of the basic stuff that a college would send out. So let's address this email first. This is from the university. Now, what I find so hypocritical about this, keep in mind, I'm relatively pro-choice. I'm pro-choice up until viability. That's my personal stance on abortion. So this group is anti-abortion. I would completely disagree with these guys. However, I do not like that the university sends out this email only when there's a conservative viewpoint being brought onto campus. Now, there's a few other reasons why this group is being, talked about in this way that kind of add to it. Essentially, this group apparently is notorious for trying to get students and staff members and just passerbyers to actually engage in physical violence so that they can press charges and profit off of the charges that they press. So apparently that's something they do, that's obviously pretty shitty, but it is a controversial group visiting the campus. What's weird is that on this college campus, we've had BLM, Antifa, feminist groups, pretty much any left-wing group you can think of. There has been organized events like this on campus. but not one of these was it sent out that it has controversial ideas or controversial group. Even when Antifa is now listed as a terrorist organization. Not a single email about that. This is a university, a state university. I'm not too surprised by this because obviously it's quite liberal, but I understand my professors being quite liberal in some aspects. I mean, I have some that I can tell are a little bit more right-wing, but the professors can have their own viewpoints and I would say to an extent can share these, but this is absolutely completely biased towards the left. The university tries to come off as unbiased in this, but completely ignores any group left of center that could have controversial ideas. That irritates me. And that's the university. That shouldn't happen. That's pretty sad right there. The second email that I got was from ASUO. So this was also to my school email. They send it. They can send it out to all students as well. But this is from ASUO. This is not from the university, but this is from an organization within the university called ASUO. Concerning upcoming events, important read. And so this is where this one they actually go into a little bit more detail about why this group is bad. And it's a little bit better, but also still biased because they completely ignore any group center or left of center. So, yeah. Dear University of Oregon community. Wow, very personal. We want to preface this letter with a content warning including references to genocide, violence, and abortion. Which is weird because the left is radically pro-choice. I mean, I've seen some disgustingly pro-choice people that I completely disagree with as well. And so you'd think abortions wouldn't be a triggering topic for them if they are wanting that. They want to talk about abortions. They want to talk about why women should have the choice to, abort the baby. That's just kind of weird. ASUO executive and students of the EMU board write to inform you that the University of Oregon will have the Center for Bioethical Reform, that's the name of the group, and their display Genocide Awareness Project on campus this Wednesday and Thursday, October 18th to 19th, 2017. No shit, it's 2017. The display will be located on EMU Green, center of campus. It contains large banners with graphic images of violence. Doesn't go into detail. These will be visible from the EMU, which is the center building in campus. So essentially stating that if you're on that building, which is probably the most popular building on campus, you'll be able to see this. Specifically, the study spaces on the ground floor and surrounding areas on campus. I might check this out. Wait. Oh, yeah. So as this video is going up tomorrow, technically, I might check this out. The organizers may have body cameras on them with the intentions to record any confrontations from students and administrators. This is because they fund their displays through the financial settlements received from lawsuits against students and schools. I'd love to have a confrontation with these guys, but I wouldn't get violent. I would just debunk their terrible arguments. Because the University of Oregon is a state institution, we must adhere to the foundational rights embedded in the First Amendment and must remain content neutral. We cannot silence those whom we disagree with without allowing space for our own voices to be silenced by those who disagree with us. I like that paragraph, actually. That's a very accurate paragraph to defend the First Amendment. Completely understanding of the fact that just because you disagree with something and want to silence them doesn't mean that people can't disagree with you and silence you then. It kind of creates a topic of, where does it stop? What defines what can be silenced and what can't be? So I actually like that paragraph. I kind of skimmed over it, so I didn't really read that the first time through. To be clear, ASUO does not condone this organization's process of advocacy because it exploits numerous racial and denominational genocides. I don't know how it does that. Okay. While they are allowed to be on campus and spread their message, we cannot excuse the exploitation and violence in their imagery and its effect on the well-being of our campus community. The ASUO does not support actions that make students feel unsafe in their home and study environments. Many administrators and organizations on campus have asked students to steer clear of the display and deny this organization the attention they seek. Good. Do not protest. Don't give them the attention they seek. If or how you engage with this organization is your decision, and we will uplift any student's decision to take civil and peaceful action. For your safety, we advise against violent retaliation because the organizers intend to profit off of the resulting lawsuits. Regarding student comfort and resources, below are measures taken by student organizations, departments, and others on campus to ensure students are aware of the issue and have places to access for support. So So this one has a list that's a little bit funnier. Women's centers, and it gives the location. The Women's Center will be open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Dean of Students staff will be available for drop-in support on Wednesday and Thursday. They provide a comforting space with food and activities, and will have a crisis team available upon request. A motherfucking safe space. Because someone disagrees with you on campus. I disagree with them. They disagree with me. I disagree with them. Do I need a safe space? No. In fact, I'm going on and posting publicly to a website, especially with a following that I know is relatively more right-leaning, which means they're probably typically more anti-abortion, which means they would probably disagree with me as well. And I'm open for discussions about abortion. I don't need a safe space because someone disagrees with me. It's literally promoting being a little whiny bitch. Not being able to handle yourself, not being able to handle other people's words. This is a college that's supposed to be preparing people for after college, for real life, essentially. And this is catering to the whims of the babies among us. I can't wait for these people to hit the real world and get fucked in the ass because they weren't expecting it at all. Now, the rest of these aren't, counseling, stuff like that, which is, I don't believe you need counseling for that, but to each their own on that. So my issue with this is essentially the fact that they're ignoring any sort of left of center ideas as controversial, despite the fact that it's quite controversial. I mean, literally half the fucking country believes one thing while half the fucking country believes the other. Well, roughly. That's pretty controversial to me. So it's weird that it, picks and chooses what is considered controversial. And I don't know if you noticed, but it kind of promoted organizing protests. The ASUO one said, we advise you to steer clear. But you could just tell in the terminology, they're kind of hoping that groups get together, because there's quite a few very radical left-wing groups on campus. They hope they get together and protest these people, which honestly would be very, very entertaining, but I don't believe that a university should be promoting this, especially with considerations of what they've ignored in the past. So I'm not really sure what to make of this, what to think of this, because it's pretty sad. The fact that the university is doing this, I don't know. I kind of want to go check this out just to see what it's like. Obviously, I can't record it or post it because it's going to be graphic images, so it's something that would not be YouTube friendly. But if you guys are hoping or interested, I'd be happy to make a video about it afterwards. So essentially go take a look at this place, maybe have a conversation with a few of the people there, and then kind of do a recap of what happened. I'm not going to make a video. This is, abortion is an issue that I kind of steer clear from. I'm not going to make a video talking about abortion unless, it comes up in a debate or something like that. In general, I'm just not going to make a video arguing my pro-choice standpoint because it doesn't really need to be argued right now. I don't think so. I don't think it's an important issue, especially due to the fact that right now, essentially exactly what I hope for, pro-choice until viability, that's essentially what's in law right now, except for extenuating circumstances. So, I'm not really going to address that issue, and don't worry, I'm not going to go into that. I know a lot of you are rather conservative or very conservative, and you probably disagree with me on that quite vehemently, and I understand that. Not everyone agrees with everybody on everything. I am a centrist. I'm not a conservative at all. I am not a liberal at all. I'm literally centrist. Whenever I take political tests and quizzes, I'm right down the middle. I just kind of want to make that clear that I will have disagreements with you guys, with the majority of my fan base, and I apologize for that. If you don't like that, you're welcome to unsubscribe. But I hope that my videos about other topics, about more important topics, keep you around. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't yet, be sure to join my Discord. The link will be down in the description below, where you can discuss politics of any sort. There are voice channels where you can have a voice discussion, where you can host podcasts with each other, make collaboration videos, where you can just interact with each other and have a good time. Hopefully, you can debate people. Got to keep it civil, of course, but yeah. And if you haven't yet, check out my Patreon, which will also be in the description below. Should be the bottom of the description, to find ways you can support myself because of Adpocalypse. I'm making nothing. I'm literally making nothing from this channel, and so Patreon and my other sources of income are the main ways that I'm going to be able to do this full time, and I'm hoping to do this full time. So any and all support, even just $1 a month, is highly appreciated. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Be sure to comment, rate, and subscribe. And as always, have a nice day.